Hello, this is David and welcome to episode number 5 of Make Me Proud, the YouTube series documenting my campaign to become a better sprint swimmer and emulate British Olympian Benjamin Proud. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you a little bit of an update. We are now 4 weeks into 2023 and therefore I just thought I'd provide you with a little check-in to see how I'm getting on. As always, if you would hit the like button, I would very much appreciate it. And remember to subscribe to this channel to join in with me on this swimming adventure. But otherwise, without any further ado, let's dive right into today's video. So how I'm going to structure this video is first up, go through the 3 key tenets of any fitness or health or sporting regime, and that is training, nutrition and recovery, just to give you an idea of how consistent I've been in those areas. And then once I've gone through those, then take you through on to how that has impacted my results in the pool. How has how I've performed consistently in my in those 3 key areas have ultimately impacted my swim times. So starting off with training, last week I showed you my training plan, of which I detailed that I was training 10 times a week, so 6 times in the pool and 4 times in the gym. However, what I failed to mention last week is that every 4 weeks I would embark on a rest week, a low load week. Ultimately, I only train half as much, so that's 3 hours in the pool and only 2 hours in the gym, in order to allow my body to rest, recover and consolidate the gains that I've made over the previous 3 weeks. As I've stated previously, I think that it's very difficult. You go through this cycle of motivation and fatigue. So week 1 you're highly motivated, you've got a lot of energy, so you're able to push really hard in your training and nutrition. But then as you sort of approach the end of week 2 and getting into week 3, fatigue starts to build, motivation starts to wane, and then by the end of it, that's where fitness regimes start to fall down and people lose motivation and then give up entirely. So therefore, the importance of that load week every 4 weeks. So how well have I stuck to that in my training? Well, weeks 1 and 4 were bang on the money. So week 1 I managed the 6 swim sessions and 4 gym sessions, and in week 4 I managed the 3 swim sessions and 2 gym sessions. However, weeks 2 and 3 I didn't quite manage it. So in each one of those 2 weeks I dropped a swim session, only managing 5 swims and 4 gyms. So overall, making 33 out of 35 training sessions, and in the pool that's 19 out of 21 sessions, I believe. So on both accounts, making 90% of the training sessions, which is good. However, something to focus on over the course of the next 4 weeks is to try and hit the full targets and make those 2 swim sessions in weeks 2 and 3. So that's bonus. And as I said, I made all of my gym sessions, which is great. It means that the complementary work that I'm doing in the gym in order to build muscle and strength, in order to give me that extra bit of propulsion in the pool, is all going to plan at the minute. So I've reached a little bit of plateau coming towards the end of these 4 weeks. So I need to look up to shake up my gym routine a little bit, maybe add making it a little bit more challenging and a little bit more to it, so that those gains continue to come. Then the third aspect to training, something that I didn't mention last week, but is quite an important part of fitness regimes, is flexibility. So stretching routines, and this is probably the part of my training that hasn't gone so well over the past 4 weeks or so, only managing, so the plan is to do a stretching session of about 7.5 to 8 minutes. I go through various stretches for 30 seconds, and I've only managed to do 19 out of the 28 days over this 4-week period. So a little bit frustrating. So typically when things fall through when it comes to stretching is ultimately on weekends. I have a bit more of a flexible structure on a weekend in comparison to on weekdays. And similarly, when there's just irregular events going on and my schedule gets thrown out of whack, then it just means that I can forget to do that stretching session. However, flexibility hasn't deteriorated whatsoever. I think it's slightly improved, so yeah, can't be too upset with that. However, again, the key thing to focus on next time is over the next 4 weeks is maintaining that stretching routine and trying to get more consistent with it. So 19 out of 28, we're looking about 70% there. So over the course of the next 4 weeks, we'll look to get 80% consistency, or at the very least 75, at the very least an improvement. So moving on to the next tenet of fitness regimes is nutrition, and yeah, a little bit annoyed at this one as we approach the end of these 4 weeks, because I started off so well. The first week, I was managing those consistent calorie deficits on a daily basis, started getting ahead of schedule with regards to my weight loss. Over the second week as well, things were going incredibly well as well. And then I ended up meeting up with my friends for the weekend. Yeah, had a day or so or maybe a little bit longer of indulging in a bit more than I needed to. I lost track of how many calories that I was eating over the course of that day, and as a result, yeah, nearly got reset in that regard as to the progress over those 2 weeks. However, I managed to get it back down to where I was by the end of that week. So essentially, ultimately, in the end, I'd only lost about a week's progress, but still, that was enough to put me back, and I was never going to actually reach the target for that week that I'd intended on reaching. And then again in the fourth week, over the course of the rest week, I haven't been ensuring that I've maintained that calorie deficit across the whole week. Things got thrown out of whack on Wednesday as my cat got seriously ill, and we had to take her to the vet and eventually put her down, which was very sad. And naturally, when events like that happen, it just throws you. It completely threw me off schedule with regards to my eating routine. Something else had to come first at that point in time, and so resulted in some not great eating on that day. However, managed to recover out of that somewhat, and so managed to get down to about 89.5 kilograms. I had hoped to get under 88. So again, over the next 4 weeks, looking to increase that discipline in maintaining that small calorie deficit over the period. I think again, maybe went out too hard out of the blocks, rather than trying to keep that 200 calorie deficit over each day of the week. There were some days where I thought, no, let's go for 300. We're feeling good. Let's push for a little bit more. And sometimes just that little bit, just pushing that little bit harder on a certain day means that the next day you lose motivation. You're a little bit more tired, and therefore find things difficult in that regard to sustain, and it can actually throw you off rack. So a key piece of advice from me is stay on track. Don't try to go overboard. Keep to the program and what you've scheduled, because otherwise you may end up tiring yourself out and just burning out and losing motivation to that. However, it didn't come to burnout. However, could have probably done better there, and we're looking to improve consistency in that regard later on. However, on the plus side of that, results-wise, I have managed to cement a base weight of under 90 kilograms, and that's something that I haven't done since 2018. So that's a result in and of itself. I had hoped to have progressed a little bit further down the line. However, to get back consistently under 90 kilograms of weight is really good. So happy with that in that regard. A small win there. Then recovery, so sleep in that regard, and I've pretty much nailed it on every day. I've got a good routine. I've been consistently getting to bed on time, and on days where have seen friends and that the late night is going to come. Have managed to structure my schedule so that I know that when those late nights do come, I've got a lie-in coming the next day, and so can get that 7.5 plus hours worth of sleep. So yeah, all good on the recovery front with regards to sleep. Where I could improve is meditation, just taking a half an hour out of the day just to de-stress myself and enable just enable a little bit of recovery throughout the day, just clear the mind and get going from and then allowing a fresh start from there forth. However, sometimes you're just in the momentum of the day and that falls through. So need to improve on consistency with meditation, because that was worse off than stretching, and it was so bad that I don't actually have a number for you in that regard. So how has all that impacted through onto my results? How has my consistency with training, nutrition and recovery impacted my results in the pool? And frustratingly, so to say, to start off with, I haven't had any galas over the course of this 4 weeks. So having official clarity, we shall call it, on how my swim times are progressing, there isn't any evidence of. So I'm just going to have to go on the basis of how well I've actually been doing in my swim training. So over the course of the last week, I managed a set of 10 25 meter sprints, all managing to come in under 15 seconds, so 14 points. And on pretty much all of those, I wasn't going flat out. I don't think I could go flat out because of just the fatigue that had accumulated over the previous 3 weeks. However, I wasn't going flat out and was still managing to consistently come in 14 seconds or so. So that's a big win going forward. And so the aim from here is to try and finally get that first 25 meter time, and once I start getting into the 13s, I think that 100 meters, that sub 60-second 100 meters is right on the horizon. So super excited with that. Need to keep the momentum going and just get that top speed right down in that regard. Hundreds, again, it's difficult to say because it's training times. Haven't done all that much 100 meter training, or just doing a trial 100 meter run. I've been focusing more on the 25s and 50s in order to build up that top speed, because ultimately the 100 is more the endurance side of things. So I've been looking at 25s and 50s more to build up that top speed. So again, hard to say how I've progressed in the 100. But then on the 50 meters, so I've been doing some timed push off 50 meters, pushing off from the wall, and in training I've managed to do a 30.5 and a 30.53. So that's a 30.5 and a 30.53. So essentially 30.5 seconds to complete a 50 meter sprint, pushing. So that's pushing off of the blocks, so no dives, not having shaved down, not wearing a hat, and not wearing a race suit, and being taking all those into account, that's a really good time, which means hopefully when all those things do occur, when I do a dive, when I have shaved down, when I am wearing a racing suit and I've got a hat on to keep the aerodynamics with my hair, that in turn is going to result in hopefully taking a good 1.5 seconds off, because I know I've been 29.38 last year and I went 29.33 the year before, and that 29.38 was with a not so great tumble turn. So I know if I nail that turn, I think that sub 28 second is on its way. So there seems to be evidence there of some results coming through. Just need to keep on with the consistency in the training, the nutrition, and getting some more meditation sessions in, just to make sure that I'm refreshing myself and aiding that recovery. But yeah, hopefully in 4 weeks' time, following the Swim England Northwest Swim Championships in Blackpool, I'll be able to report some exciting times through from that. So fingers crossed, 4 weeks' time, Sunday, 26th, 27th of February, that Sunday, the Sunday of that weekend, there'll be some gala videos coming in with my performances. So stay tuned. I hope you've enjoyed this update and seeing where I'm up to, and I'll see you again next weekend. So that is it for this video, and if you've enjoyed it, just a reminder to hit the like button, and similarly to subscribe to my channel for many more swimming adventures. Otherwise, if you are looking for a little bit of extra help when it comes to improving your eating habits, head on over to westcough.com to see the range of ways in which I can support you with your nutrition and thereby fuel your physical development. Finally, I've been Dave Westcough. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.